Hi, my name is Reju, Dr. Reju. I'm a workplace effectiveness strategist and I consult for churches because I have a passion for pastors. I have a burden for pastors because of my belief in the tremendous amount of influence that they can have in society. But over the years, the global church, we've focused on only what happens within the four walls of our buildings. We've reduced the definition of church to a building, which we know is not accurate. But the purpose of this conference, this workshop, is to give us a wider kind of horizon, to widen our horizon, to look at the church through a truly biblical prism, to expose pastors to gain an insight into the biblical definition of church so that we can express that full definition and become that externally focused church. A friend of mine once said, "Where is the church on a Sunday after the parking lot is empty?" That is what this workshop is all about. Call Joy Bringers on the numbers on your screen. See you then.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me right here in Solomon's Temple. If you are here for the first time, thank you. This is Solomon's Temple, where we get to discuss just everything biblical. You know, we agree, we disagree, we investigate, we look at facts, we look at scriptures, we look at the different theology, doctrines, our differences, and how we can really function together, and also to make sure that leadership is held accountable. So I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. So I'm going to, anyway, if you are here, please make sure you subscribe to the video. Make sure you subscribe to the video. I would appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, not just to the video, rather, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Solomon's Temple. I would appreciate if you subscribe. That is very, very important. So make sure you do that right away. Please also follow me on social media, Solomon Ashams on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Solomon Ashams. That's very important. So quickly, I want to talk about a looting that had been happening at TB Joshua's church. Now, they told me this, you know, quite maybe about 5-6 weeks ago. My sources, you know, told me this, so I got to know about it. But then I needed to have, you know, some sort of evidence and some convincing elements to and also get to know the full story, sort of. Because since TB Joshua was passing away, the Synagogue Church of All Nations has been experiencing some sort of tension. There was just fraction. There was a lot of different factions and camps within the church. Abdul Fattah has passed away. He was the one who was leading the so-called church. He was the one who was doing everything. He was the dictator. It's only what he said that goes. But after Abdul Fattah at the church, that's TB Joshua. So pardon me if you hear me say Abdul Fattah Balogun, that's TB Joshua's real name. That's his real name. So after Abdul Fattah, as the prophet, as the, you know, the lead man, the next most powerful set of people are the disciples. They are the next most powerful. His wife in the hierarchy of authority and power, she is probably in 4th place or in 5th place, because she was never really involved in the church. Just a wife. As money, do whatever you want to do. You seldom see her. You probably see her once a year or something. So she was not involved with the daily. She wasn't aware of the ins and the outs. Why? Because the wife, Evelyn, and Fattah Balogun, they were living 2 separate lives. They actually didn't even stay in the same building. He was staying upstairs. It's like a very big sort of like place where she probably don't even get to see him for a week. True story. And who sees him? Who has access to TB Joshua? Well, the people that have access to TB Joshua are the second most powerful set of people, and these are the disciples. Some of you guys over the years, you've seen some of the disciples. Some of them come and they've been there for a while, and some of them leave. These are some of the disciples. Over the years, these are some of the disciples. Some of them are sort of like still there. Yasin, Angela, and some of them have moved on. Some of them, John Chi has moved on to Cameroon. There's this guy, that Wiseman, I think he moved on to Abuja. Some of them have moved on. But he always has the disciple. And you see, the truth of the matter is, he was discipling them. But what was he discipling them in? He was discipling them in the art of lying, in the art of deception, in the art of manufacturing miracles, in the art of just being and executing the role of a false prophet so people's life could be destroyed whilst he is getting rich and famous. So you've seen some of these guys over the years. And even during his burial, his funeral, these disciples who were still there at the end of it, you can see some of them. Some of you guys that follow TB Joshua, you can recognize some of them. For me, to be honest with you, I don't know much of them. I had to research some of them because my source in Lagos kept giving me the name, Kemi, Yasin, Angela. And I like, look, dude, I don't know them. I need to go and research and really find out who they really are. So that's very, very important. So you've seen them come and go and all that, but these are the most powerful group of people at the synagogue outside of TB Joshua. So without him, they became the most powerful. Not TB Joshua's wife, not TB Joshua's children, nobody. They became the most powerful. Even the trustees are not as powerful as them because TB Joshua was part of the trustees anyway before he passed away. Even the wife was aware that they are the most powerful set of people. They have access to TB Joshua at any time because remember, they are the ones that help him to execute all his deceit. So they communicate a lot. He spends a lot of time with them. He gives them money. And some of the girls, he sleeps with them. They are the ones that know where money is. They're the ones that know this is the guest that is coming. They're the ones that arrange this person can see TB Joshua or whatever. They're the ones that do that. I mean, TB Joshua has to decide who sees him or whatever, but they're the ones that are close to him. So even people that don't have access to TB Joshua, they keep blaming them because they know they're the ones that are around TB Joshua. So somehow they were even hated. They have access to him. They're the ones that would say, this person is coming, that person is coming. And TB Joshua would say, okay. You say, no, I don't want to see that person. They're the ones that would get in touch with people and arrange stuff. They're the ones that know where money is coming from. They're the ones that, some of them are the ones that carry his phone, so they know everything. So he discipled them to be able to execute his grand plan of deceiving people and destroying the lives of innocent people across Africa, across the world. So they were indeed disciples. It's not like they were not disciples. She was not involved. She knew they are the most powerful people. She knew some of the girls that are part of the discipleship team. She knew they were sleeping with her husband. But, I mean, she came through the back door herself. So, is Fatai Balogun is your husband, but you don't have access to him the ways the disciples and a lot of the girls there have access to him. You don't sleep with him the way the other girls sleep with him. That's how damaged that place was. That's how damaged. You know, when we talk about this, people will think, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable, but that's just the truth. It's the reality because of the foundation of that place. The foundation in itself was satanic. It's still satanic. And what does Satan come to do? To steal, to kill, and to destroy. So anything that the TB Joshua wants to do or say or ever is leading to stealing, to killing, to destroying. So after he passed away, there was obviously a lot of fight for control. The disciples felt we are the ones in charge, and obviously rightly so, they were the ones in charge because after TB Joshua, they are the most powerful set of people. His wife was far away. Now, how can she come and want to take over? Some of these disciples, they've been there for over 20 years. Some of the disciples were there with Bisola, if you remember Bisola. Actually, some of these disciples, Bisola went to synagogue and met them there, and she left them there. They have access. They know where the money is. They're the ones that go and withdraw money or move money here. So after T. Joshua died, they knew there was tension. It was time for them to loot. They knew, he's not here, so I might as well get my share. Some of them were looting just because they want to get their share and stay there. Some of them were looting to go, but they were still there because there's no any other place they could go. They've been there for a long time, over 20 years. Where do you want them to go? Some of them grew up there, basically. You came there, you were 20, now you are 42. There were bank accounts that they have access to, and they withdrew money. They took money, they looted money from these bank accounts. Now, there are assets, properties, and things that they know. Because remember, the wife doesn't, you don't understand, the wife doesn't, they lived two separate lives. You would say, how come the wife doesn't know? They were living two separate lives. The wife was just there for cosmetic, just to put up a show. Even his children, because they have no use in what he was doing, which is deceiving people. The people that are useful to him are the disciples. Some of them Nigerians, some of them are not Nigerians, some of them are Senegalese or French or Romanians or from all over. So they started looting. They would withdraw money here, withdraw money there. The wife would not know because she was not involved. Selling stuff here, selling stuff there. Give me a moment, guys. So that has been what has been going on there. So they were having a field day looting. And what do you expect? TB Joshua raised them well. TB Joshua looted from people. They know that. They know there's no miracles. They know he lied to people. They know people thought he was true prophet, but he was a fake prophet. They kept coming, they kept going, and he enriched himself. They've been there for 20 years. They know. So why wouldn't they loot now that he's gone? He taught them well. Fatai was a looter. He looted from people, stole from people, and they are also looting now. They want their own share. It's more like they want their inheritance. Especially when their wife is a threat. TB Joshua discipled them. But you see, he didn't disciple them like Jesus discipled the 12. He discipled them according to occultic, manipulative ways of destroying people, bringing the name of the church into disrepute through his actions and activities, but at the same time pretending to be a man called by God. But they looted. They moved stuff away already. They've slashed stuff and put it somewhere, especially the girls. There's a girl called Kemi. She's been there for a while. There's one called Yasin. To even tell you the truth, there was a time where it got to a place where they were actually planning to see how they can sell his private jet. Some of you guys don't know that TB Joshua has a private jet. TB Joshua is never going to show you a photo of him with private jet because he created an image that he's a humble man. He's a modest man. Lie. This is part of the scripted message that my source was sent by one of the people in the synagogue there, saying that Angela and Racine claimed daddy's private jet was on mortgage and wanted to sell for $28 million to pay the debt. Little did they know that there was a record proving daddy was not in any form of debt. I think Racine is the one they said is French speaking, isn't it? The Senegalese French guy. And then there's Angela. TB Joshua has a private. So you now $28 million private jet. And he will come pretending that he helps the poor and be giving them $1 million naira. How much is $1 million naira? 30,000 rand or something? So he's gone. They know he's gone. So Angela and Racine here, according to this text, they were planning to sell the jet to pay a debt. But there was no debt. Just another way to loot. Because it's everybody just grab what you can grab right now. Because they know they're out of the way. Not just they know they're out of the way, but this is the beginning of the end of Synagogue Church of All Nations. Abdul Fatai Balogun is gone. The mastermind is gone. Things would never be the same again. He is the master deceiver. He is the head hunchman. He is the architect of deceit by virtue of the evil anointing that he was anointed with. And bringing it into the church now, he's still telling people it's the anointing of God, but we know that it's evil anointing. So everyone was just grabbing. They stayed there. They were grabbing and grabbing. They didn't leave. Later on, in about 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm going to show you some of the videos of how they were kicked out after the court order yesterday, making TB Joshua's wife, Evelyn, a member of the trustee, making them 3. They decided to kick the disciples. Shamelessly kicked them. They decided to disband the most powerful group of people after Fatai at the Synagogue Church of All Nations. Because with the disciples' presence, the wife cannot take over. The wife cannot do much. But you see, without the disciples, now she has to start from the scratch. The vision will be different. Watch. What you have known Synagogue Church of All Nations to be, so-called place of deliverance, place of miracle, place of healing, is not going to be the same. Because the head hunchman, Fatai, is gone. The second most powerful group of people, the disciples that used to be there to create and craft all these fake prophets, miracles and healing and whatever for him, and all this deceit and do all his videos and whatever, they gone. Because now they go in step by step. They are a threat to her, to Fatai's wife. And Fatai's wife is also a threat to them. Simple. Did TB Joshua leave a will? It's clear for you there to know that he never left a will. That's why you see all this confusion. But all these people that have been serving TB Joshua for so many years, they're probably being kicked out now. They actually brought the police to help them to be kicked out. I'm going to show you the videos in about 3 hours when I come in to do the last broadcast for today. Some of them have been reported to the EFCC, which is the Economic Financial Crime Commission in Nigeria. Any sort of fraud or whatever, they report that to them. So because, like I told you, they've been looting assets and finances and monies from banks, they were reported to, some of them that they have the documents, they reported to the EFCC. And the EFCC has arrested some of them. They're in custody right now. So totally they've been shattered. Because remember, the shepherd, Fatai, he was a shepherd. Has passed away. He's dead. And the sheep is now scattered. And TB Joshua's, Fatai's wife, Evelyn, knows she needs to do that because they are a threat. As long as the disciples are there, you're probably never going to hear about the disciples anymore. The structure and everything to that church needs to change. And that's the beginning of the end for the Synagogue Church of All Nations. Their time is up. They are going into obscurity. They are going into a community of irrelevancy. Because God wasn't part of the foundation in the first place. It was a criminal setup. The disciples are aware of that. The disciples are looting and stealing now. Why wouldn't they loot and steal? They knew their teacher, their leader, Fatai, who has passed away now, he was into looting and stealing too. They knew that. There's no fear of God. Some of the girls used to sleep with him. A lot of the girls, if not most of the girls. So where's the fear of God? The man is not a righteous man. He's just claiming outwardly, externally, when he's on TV to claim that he's righteous and he's a man of God. But he was never that. They know that. And what we're going to see through the rest of the year into next year is we're going to see some of these disciples coming out to speak out and share their experiences. A lot of them will be doing it for selfish reasons because they want to get back at Fatai's wife, Evelyn, or they want to get back at Synagogue for kicking them out. They're probably not even going to give them any money as they kick them out. But we're going to be hearing from them through the rest of the year, through next year, 2 years, 3 years. They're going to come out. They're going to come out. Trust me. They're going to come out. Some of them for selfish reasons. Some of them maybe because God has convicted them and they finally maybe found the true Jesus somewhere. They're going to come out and tell us things about miracles, things about fake miracles, things about how they move money, thinks about how they deceive people, how they make video. You see the way Bisola is speaking now. At the end of the day, we're going to have a few of the disciples who will come out and be speaking the same way. What do you expect? People will say, but why are they looting? Why are they stealing from TB Joshua now that he's passed away? Why wouldn't they? That TB Joshua was a thief himself, so why wouldn't they steal? Like, do you understand? They were the most closest set of people to him. They knew him into his room. The girls sleep with him into his office. They call they're the ones, they are his most trusted allies. He's gone. And they've been running the show for a long time. Now, Evelyn, who was not part of running the show, now you mean you want to come and take over? Because Fatai is dead? I know. We're going to get our own share too. We help build this place. I'm going to take this. I have papers to these assets here. I'm going to take it. I have access to this bank account here. Let's move money here. Let's move money there. Because they wanted to be in charge after TB Joshua. Fatai passed away. But the wife, there was tension with them. She wanted to be in charge. They wanted to be in charge. That's why you see for the last 2 months since TB Joshua passed away, they've not had any sort of like so-called church service or any event or any life event like they normally used to. No, all the stuff they've been showing now is just pre-recorded stuff. So somebody had to go. Either Fatai's wife, Evelyn, goes, which is almost impossible because she's the wife, or the disciples show off. And they didn't have any legal ground to stand. Now she didn't have legal grounds also because she wasn't part of the trustee. Now she was made part of the trustee yesterday, comprising of 3 people. TB Joshua was part of the trustee. He passed away. So she is coming in as a replacement for Fatai. So now she has a legal ground. But the disciples have no legal ground. He played them. He played his wife. He left everybody confused and in a limbo. They said, no, TB Joshua knew he was passing away. He died. He was given tips. He prophesied that he was going to pass away. You see some of these videos that they show us. TB Joshua didn't know he was going to pass away. If he knew he was going to pass away, there are certain things he would put in order. He didn't know. Someone like him who's greedy, he wouldn't even want to pass away. But he has sold his soul to the devil a long time ago. So it's evident that he's not going to live long. And with the evil that he has done, the judgment of God will come upon him. God is the giver of life. These disciples, some of them, we would see them, they will show up they will probably go create their own ministries. My prayer is that God will really touch some of them to repent, just so they can educate and inform people and tell people, this is how we used to operate. This is truly who Fatai is. Someone like Bisola has told us quite a lot, but there are some of these disciples that were kicked out last night. They know so much, far much more than Bisola. One day you would hear from them actually how TB Joshua died and how they tried to cover it up, why they said what they said, how the wife came and how the wife wanted to take over. You would hear from them. You would hear from them one day, whether it's going to be 2 years from now, 3 years from now. TB Joshua was not prepared to die. He thinks he's invincible sometimes. And His death was actually a shame because of the way he passed away. It's a shame. It wasn't a dignified type of, they just tried to create this thing and they make videos. They said, no, he went into the room and then he did this and then, oh, God appeared. Or all these things are very petty lies. Please. Lies. I'm going to be back here in about 2 hours to tell you, actually not to tell you, but to show you how the disciples from the Synagogue Church of All Nations were kicked out. I will show you videos. They were shamefully kicked out. They were told, go away, this and that. And you see, most of them that were there serving TB Joshua, they never had anything. All their lives has been there. They thought life is good. They come from poor backgrounds. They thought everything is going to be okay. And now they have to be shamefully kicked out. People telling them, go, 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 making fun of them. Yesterday, after TB Joshua's, Fatai's wife was made a trustee of the church, took the police, let's get these people out. They've been trying to get them out for a long time. No, because remember, they're powerful. They know the ins and the outs. Fatai's wife doesn't know how the place was being run. They thought they were invincible, but they were not smart enough to get some sort of a legal stand. And TB Joshua, being a greedy person, he's not going to give them a legal stand. He knows, he's discipled them, so he knows they're also thieves. They're also going to loot from him. He wasn't running a church. That was why it became that way. He was running a scam. He was running a shrine. So, people, please join me in about 2 hours. I'm going to be back here. I'm going to put in the broadcast notification now, so you can just, get yourself notified. And I'm going to play you the videos of how they were shamelessly kicked out. Inside the synagogue, they were so powerful, but they had nothing. And that's why Fatai does. Fatai doesn't, because you've served him, doesn't make your life comfortable. You're just going to be there. He feeds you, he does that, but you're not like really comfortable. Now you can say, okay, now if I live here, I know I can buy a house or I can have a car and go on with my life. No. He was just using people that he knows they're not that educated, or they're not that, some of the girls that are there. I mean, there are some of them that are very educated, but still you're before TB Joshua. You just have to do what he has to say, what he asks you to do. That's how it works. And you left your good job in Europe, you came here. There's a lot of them that would go and be helping them, left their job in Europe, left their families, and they come here. After 5 years, you're going back with nothing. You have to go and start all over again. Because now you're even broken. Your spirit is broken. You've discovered that the whole thing is a scam. All right, guys, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, Solomon's Temple. Please do so right away. And also go ahead and also click the notification button. I'm going to be back here in about 2 hours. I'm going to be back here in about 2 hours, where I'm going to show you the videos of the disciples shamelessly being kicked out of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. I'll see you later. Please subscribe right away. Thank you. God bless you.
Masinya Attorneys Incorporated, a boutique commercial and taxation law firm in Midrand, Johannesburg, South Africa. Strategic lawyers on point with more than 20 years of practice experience. We are professional, capable, and qualified.